everyone. Joe Baker with Trade Pilot Pro with your nightly pivot report. I hope everybody had a great weekend, a safe weekend, and don't be too anxious to jump in that trade tomorrow because we have had a long weekend. Never trade just to trade. We trade to make profit. So that being said, let's get on with the pivots. Tomorrow, what I'm looking for is bullish above 1262.50. That's bullish above 1262.50. Bearish below it. So above 1262.50, what we have is we have a breakout at 1264 to 1275 target. So again, that's 1264 to 1275 target. That would be the breakout. We also have a pivot at 1265.50. So in this range, right in here, I expect some consolidation. So if we do get up to this range, we may chop a little bit because we have a major pivot here, we have a breakout, and then we have an immediate pivot right above it. So in this area here, could be some chop before we ultimately get going. I'm not going to say we're getting going. They can throw this market any way they want. I know Barron's had a very bearish piece over the weekend talking about the bear market being full effect now. So, that could scare some of the retail guys, meaning people with 401ks, putting them into cash and so forth and so on. So, we do have to be careful. You can also use it as a contrarian indicator and say, well, now that they're saying the bear market's here, now it's time for the 10% rally. That being said, this is why we just trade what we see. So we're looking for a pivot at 1268.50, another area of resistance at 1272. We do have an area of resistance right at the target zone at 1275 and a quarter, 1275 area. We can, with this market being the way it is, if they get any juice behind this market, they can push it because there's probably, as you know, we're at, I believe, almost an all-time high with short interest. They could push it all the way up to 78, 81, and if we pass that, we would go all the way up to 85 if we got any kind of super rally. All the news out there, and with the market being pushed down every time it rallies, I don't know if they'll be able to actually push it that high. But as you all know, anybody who trades this market, it can and will do anything. So, by having a bias, like I said, it always hurts you. So I really wouldn't, get in the way of it if this thing starts really moving. Little technical note, what we look for during the day is over the 34 EMA. That's a 34 exponential moving average for our minor trend, and then what we also look for is holding the 200, and those are our two key lines in the sand as far as moving averages go. We don't like to really short too heavily or overstay our welcome when we are above the 34 or the 200. The only time we really get in heavy is when we're short and we're underneath the 34 or the 200. And if the 34 and the 200 cross, then we really pour the coal under to get to the downside. And the same to the upside. So that's one of the things that we use. And we use that, believe it or not, on a 1-minute chart. And if you guys want to go back and back test that, I think you'll find it is highly reliable as far as finding the trend of the market. So again, guys, that's the 34 EMA and the 200 on a 1-minute chart. Sometimes what you can do is you can stack the markets on top and watch them all, and it's kind of amazing how it all plays out. So underneath, we are looking for 1259 and a quarter, 1255.75, a breakdown at 1252.75. Actually happens to be a pivot as well, and then we got 49.75 underneath the 52.75. We've got 46.50. We have 43 and 41 on the breakdown. So we are line in the sand, 1262.50 underneath, 1259, 1255, 1252, 1249, 1246, and 1243 with the ultimate target of 1241. Above, if we are bulls, we are looking for a breakout line in the sand. For the breakout would be 1264, pivot at 1265.50, another pivot at 1268, one at 1272, target 1250, 1278, 1281. So again, guys, trade careful. This market is way deeply oversold, and it is incredibly weak. So that is usually when we get some big problems in the market. However, we have been deeply oversold and very weak for a couple of weeks now. So who knows what we're going to do? We just ended the quarter. This typically is a very bullish period that we just went through, and ultimately was none of that. So can this market come down a lot more? Absolutely. Can it get a rally and rip up a couple hundred points? Absolutely. So really, it's kind of an anything goes tomorrow. So trade carefully, get on the right side. Remember those moving averages, guys. I gave you that that tip because it's what we use, and it's what keeps us on the right side. So if you are trading the market on the 1 minute and the market breaks up above the 34, it will always usually come back down to it, retest it. That might be where you want to put your buy point in and then have it rally back up. Maybe putting it a couple of points beneath the 34 is always a good area, so you don't get stopped out, and to ride the trend if we do get some type of an uptrend. The same goes for the downtrend. You want to put that stop a couple of points above it, so as it comes down, breaks the 34, breaks the 200, it usually retraces back up to the 34 and then rolls right back down again. We found that to be a highly reliable pattern. And that's about it for tonight. So I will talk to you tomorrow. I may also be posting over on Elite Trader. I have a little thread there called Daily Pivots and Breakouts, and I may be posting some intraday patterns or price objectives that we're